Imagine a continent twice the size of Australia, almost entirely covered in ice, holding around 70% of the world's fresh water. This is Antarctica, a land of breathtaking extremes and surreal beauty. But what if I told you this frozen wasteland is actually the world's largest desert? And that it has a waterfall that runs bright red, looking like it's bleeding? Stick around as we uncover the 10 most mind-blowing secrets of the planet's final frontier. Let's start with the most obvious feature, the incredible ice and water. The Antarctic ice sheet holds about 70% of the world as fresh water and 90% of its ice. The Antarctic ice sheet is the largest single mass of ice on Earth. It's so massive that in some places, it's nearly 3 miles thick. If all this ice were to melt, global sea levels would rise by about 200 feet, completely redrawing the world map as we know it. But it's not just a static block of ice. Beneath this frozen surface lie vast subglacial lakes, like Lake Vostok, one of the largest lakes in the world, buried under more than 2 miles of ice. And then there's the infamous Blood Falls. This isn't a horror movie scene. It's a natural wonder. A plume of salt water, rich in iron oxide, flows from the Taylor Glacier. When the iron-rich water hits the air, it oxidizes and rusts, staining the ice a shocking crimson red. It's a hauntingly beautiful reminder of the hidden, complex systems at work beneath the ice. Now, let's talk about the weather. We all know Antarctica is cold, but the word cold doesn't quite do it justice. The lowest natural temperature ever recorded on Earth was here, at Vostok Station, a bone-chilling -128.6 degrees Fahrenheit, 89.2 degrees Celsius. That's colder than the surface of Mars on an average day. It's so cold that if you threw a cup of boiling water into the air, it would instantly vaporize and freeze into a cloud of ice crystals. And it's not just the cold you have to contend with. Antarctica is also the windiest continent. Katabatic winds, which are cold, dense air pulled downhill by gravity, can reach hurricane force speeds of up to 200 miles per hour. These extreme conditions make survival a constant challenge and scientific research a true feat of human endurance. You might think that in such a harsh environment, nothing could grow. And you'd be almost right. Plant life in Antarctica is incredibly minimal. There are no trees, no shrubs. The landscape is dominated by ice, rock, and snow. However, life finds a way. In the few ice-free areas, mainly along the Antarctic Peninsula, you can find hardy mosses, lichens, and algae. But the most impressive are the 2 native flowering plants, Antarctic hairgrass and the Antarctic pearlwort. These tiny, resilient plants huddle in sheltered spots, completing their life cycle in the brief, cold summer. They are a powerful testament to the tenacity of life in the most inhospitable places on the planet. Living in Antarctica also means adjusting to some very unique light cycles. Because of the Earth's tilt, the South Pole experiences extreme seasonal variations in daylight. During the summer, the sun never sets. For months on end, it's 24-hour daylight, with the sun just circling the horizon. This is the midnight sun. Conversely, the winter brings months of complete darkness, known as the polar night. Imagine living in a place where you don't see the sun for half the year. This has a profound effect on the rhythms of life for both the wildlife and the humans living at the research stations, who have to adapt to a world without the familiar cycle of day and night. Given the freezing temperatures and lack of vegetation, you might expect land animals to be scarce, and you'd be correct. The largest land animal native to Antarctica is a tiny, flightless midge called the Belgica antarctica. It's only about 1/4 of an inch long. It spends most of its 2-year life as a larva, frozen in the ice. It has the smallest genome of any known insect, having shed any genes not absolutely essential for survival in its extreme home. It's a master of minimalist living. Other than this tiny insect and a few other microscopic creatures like mites and springtails, the Antarctic continent itself is virtually devoid of native land animals. But if you turn your attention from the land to the sea, the story changes dramatically. The Southern Ocean is teeming with life. It's one of the most productive marine ecosystems in the world. This abundance is all thanks to krill, tiny shrimp-like crustaceans that form the base of the entire food web. The total weight of all the krill in the Southern Ocean is estimated to be more than the total weight of all humans on Earth. They are the primary food source for a spectacular array of animals. You have multiple species of penguins, like the iconic emperor and the playful Adelie. You'll see massive seals, including the leopard seal, a formidable apex predator, and the enormous elephant seal. And then there are the whales, humpbacks, minks, orcas, and the magnificent blue whale, the largest animal that has ever lived, all migrate here to feast in the nutrient-rich waters. The contrast between the barren land and the vibrant ocean is simply stunning. So who lives in Antarctica? The answer is ... nobody, permanently. Antarctica has no indigenous population and no native human inhabitants. It's the only continent on Earth with this distinction. The only people you'll find there are temporary residents. These are the scientists, researchers, and support staff from all over the world who live and work at the various research stations scattered across the continent. The population fluctuates from around 1,000 people in the harsh winter to about 5,000 in the milder summer. They are modern-day explorers, braving the elements to unlock the secrets of our planet's climate, geology, and unique ecosystems. Here's a fun logistical puzzle. What time is it in Antarctica? Well, it depends on who you ask. Officially, Antarctica doesn't have its own time zone. The continent is centered on the South Pole, where all the lines of longitude, and therefore all time zones, converge. It makes the concept of a single Antarctic time meaningless. As a practical solution, the different research stations on the continent simply adopt the time zone of the country that operates them or the time zone of their nearest supply gateway. For example, the American McMurdo station uses New Zealand Standard Time. This means you could theoretically walk a few miles and cross into a dozen different time zones in a matter of minutes. With so many countries operating here, you might wonder who owns Antarctica. The answer, again, is no one. This is thanks to one of the most successful international agreements in history, the Antarctic Treaty. Signed in 1959 by 12 countries, the treaty designates the entire continent as a natural reserve devoted to peace and science. It prohibits any military activity, mineral mining, and nuclear testing. It guarantees freedom of scientific investigation and promotes international cooperation. Today, over 50 nations have signed the treaty, making Antarctica a global symbol of peaceful collaboration, a continent for all of humanity, protected for future generations. Finally, let's wrap up with a fact that sounds like science fiction. Scientists have discovered meteorite in Antarctica that originated from Mars. Because Antarctica is a cold, dry desert, meteorites that fall there are preserved incredibly well and are relatively easy to spot against the white ice. Some of these space rocks, blasted off the Martian surface by an ancient asteroid impact, have provided scientists with invaluable samples of our neighboring planet. It's incredible to think that by exploring the ice at the bottom of our world, we can learn more about other worlds in our solar system. From its bleeding glaciers and subglacial lakes to its 24-hour sunlight and darkness, Antarctica is a world of its own. It's a continent of science and peace, a crucial regulator of our planet's climate, and a place of raw and tamed beauty. It reminds us of the power of nature and the importance of global cooperation. Thanks for joining this journey to the end of the Earth. If you found these facts as fascinating as I do, hit that like button and subscribe for more adventures into the wonders of our world. See you next time.